and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HALACHA. Here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Tuesday, the second day of November, the 27th day of CHESHVAN. Today, we want to do this very interesting question, and it is, those instant soups, they're a cup with these like crunchy, dehydrated kind of noodles in them. You put hot water in them, and then they soak, and they make like a wonderful little instant cup of soup. The question is doing that on Shabbos, going over to the urn with your cup of soup, having the hot water go down onto the noodles, and then just eating them. Is that allowed? So yeah, you better stay tuned here. Don't just say, "Oh, I got this," and tune out, because the answer is like yes and no. It's allowed, but not allowed. So yeah, follow all the details here. First of all, we have a rule that ein bishul achar bishul, that once something is cooked, it's not going to get cooked again. Now, those noodles, a lot of people just feel like, well, they're cooked already. So what would be the big deal if I recook them by having some water go on them? So people might figure that it's totally okay. But I just read that the practice as to how they make them is kind of interesting. Although we hold that it's okay to cook something after it was already cooked, that's not exactly what's going on here. When those noodles become the way they're constituted in those instant cups, what's really going on there is that they are steamed or something, and that steaming process does something to them, and then they get dried out, such that the next time when the hot water lands on them, when you put water from the hot urn, then they become kind of cooked. So the point is that they are steamed, and then you're going to put hot water on them, and those are two different processes. So it gets more complicated when you want to bake something after it was cooked, or whether you want to cook something after it was baked. And that's kind of what's going on here. It's not exactly cooking after cooking. It's boiling them after they were steamed and dehydrated. So basically, in short, it's problematic to just have the water come right out of the urn and then go right onto the hot noodles. That would be a problem. But I'm going to share screen here with you and show you that there's a Mishnah Berurah. Wasn't talking about exactly this, but if you apply his principle, then it would be permissible in a kli shlishi. Don't tune out, okay? I want you to just hear it very clearly from me. Here's even the note where I saw it, but I want to show you the Mishnah Berurah that talks about it. He says, of a kli shlishi, if you want to have a piece of bread go into a kli shlishi, mitzadid pri magadim, in this siman lahakil, that you could be lenient. And let me explain what that means. A kli shlishi means, of course, that you don't go from the urn, which is kli rishon, onto the cup of noodles or something, which is the kli sheni, but you move the water over into a kli shlishi. So it goes urn to cup and then into another cup. Now that second cup is called the kli shlishi, and the Mishnah Berurah says here that you can be lenient when having bread fall in. That's what he was discussing here. Having bread fall into a kli shlishi, a third container, twice removed from the hot urn. So I saw in notes here from the OU that on their kosher site, that if you had these soup noodles, and you had the hot water come out of the urn, land in a cup, and then from that cup it went on into the noodles, then it would be permissible. So in short, I hope you haven't tuned out yet. In short, we're saying this: it would be problematic probably to have the hot water go straight from the urn straight onto the noodles. But if you had the hot water go into cup two, once removed from the hot urn, and then that cup then came into contact with the noodles in a third cup, then it would seem that it would be okay based on this Mishnah Berurah. So in short, if you want to heat up your noodles, I would still encourage that you discuss it with your rabbi, but it looks like it would be permissible if it went from urn to cup and then to a shlishi, and then your noodles contacted the hot water there. That would seem to be okay for Shabbos. Thanks for logging on. Oh, but by the way, before I tune out, but the little packet that has the spices in it, that could be a problem because they could be some things that can't come into hot contact with hot water, period, because they're perhaps too easy to become cooked. So you better speak to your rabbi for sure about whether it's permissible to put those spices into the soup on Shabbos because they may actually become cooked as they hit the hot water. Okay. Uh, Hope that clarified it. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye bye.